Introduce myself, my name is Puji Retrimika. I will discuss the terminology of press and journalism. What is press? The word press itself is coming from Netherlands, or in English we normally call it as press, which in Indonesia is tekan or cetak. Generally, press is a mass media that running the journalism activity in form of reaching audience and also picture along with specific data and graphics. Press itself can be done in online or offline station as long as there are topics that can be processed. In the development, press can be defined as two sets. Widely or simple, wide press includes all the communication media like radio, television, and movies that will spread out the information, news, ideas, truth, or the feeling of one to another. Simple press only includes the products that publish through the process of printing like daily newspapers, weekly magazines, monthly magazines, and everything that now as form of media. What is journalism? Journalism is counted as the activities of gathering, assessing, searching, and presenting news and information. It is also the product of these activities. Journalism can be distinguished from other activities and products by certain identifiable characteristics and practice. These elements not only separate journalism from other forms of communication, they are what make it indispensable to democratic social. History reveals that the more democratic a society, the more news and information it tends to have. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, I'm Saparianti Sulastri, and now I'm going to explain about the principles of journalism. Okay, the principles of journalism. The Society of Professional Journalists, or SPJ, was created its own code of journalistic ethics, which was last revised in 2014. There are 5 ethical standards or principles which are outlined in the SPJ code. First is seek truth and report it. We are living in an era where lies are spread for political and social gain no matter the situation it puts others in. As journalists, it is a duty to inform the public of accurate information in order to not tarnish the good name of person, organization, or even. Second is independence. One of the main concepts of acting independently is not accepting any special treatment. It is not uncommon for journalists to be offered gifts from organizations or sports teams in an effort to persuade their reporting. While this can be intriguing, it is important for journalists to remain unbiased and fight temptation. Third is being accountable and transparent in journalistic. Being accountable and transparent in journalistic work is possibly the most important principle to follow to ensure a journalist will not break any other's principles. Journalists should be as transparent as possible about source and method so audience can make their own assessment of the information. Fourth is it must strive to make the significant interesting and relevant. The effectiveness of a piece of a journalism is measured both by how much a work engages its audience and enlightens it. This means journalists must continually ask what information has most value to citizens and in what form. While journalism should reach beyond such topics as government or public safety, a journalism overwhelmed by trivia and false significance ultimately engenders by trivial society. The last is, it must keep the news comprehensive and proportional. Keeping news in proportion and not leaving important things out are also cornerstone of truthfulness. Journalism is a form of cartography. It creates a map for citizens to navigate society. The map also should include news of all our communities, not just those with attractive demographics. Okay, that's all for me. Next section will be explained by my friends. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syarif Syahputra and I'm from the morning class on the 4th semester. And now I'm going to explain about the function and objective of journalism. The first is the function. There are 6 functions of journalism. The first is giving information. This function includes all reports, news, and happenings concerning the daily life. As an example, journalists would provide the audience with regular information about the COVID-19 cases, just like the number of infected people, death, and recovery. And the second is entertainment. Entertainment is one of the most important functions of journalism because it is like a magnet, which attracts and holds a large number of audiences. It plays a vital role in selling newspapers and magazines by the millions. The sport page, comic strips, astrology column advice to the lovelorn, and crosswords are essential to the average newspaper's survival as a mass media. And the third is advertisement. This function of the press can very easily be recognized because it is commercially oriented. Sometimes, the advertisement also have some public message under the prestige advertisements regarding to family planning, driving safely, childcare, healthcare, etc. The commercially oriented advertising seeks to promote the sale of their goods. And the next is education. Accordingly, the present-day journalism sees to it that along with its announcement of a fact, event, or theory, the reader or listener also get explanation, background material, interpretation, and diagrams. These are all aimed at helping an individual to achieve a better understanding of the significance of what they read or hear. And the next is opinions or motives. It means influence the opinion of the readers through editorials, articles, or certain special features. In journalism, people are not only informed, guided, or entertained, but they all influence to have their opinions on certain issues. And the last function of journalism is guidance. Nowadays, journalism developed into a full-fledged social discipline, and news is the essence of journalism. Journalism is actually the information, education, and guidance, as such information is one of the constituent part of journalism. It stands for writing for magazines or newspapers. It is the communication of information through writing in periodicals or newspapers. And next, I'm going to explain about the objective of journalism. There are 3 main objectives of journalism. The first is help civil society to cohere. Media, especially local media, serve as public forums, information collectors, disseminators, and conduits through which many of the routine activities necessary to a healthy civil society happen unnoticed until they are gone or no longer sufficiently open. They help us rub along together with not even a small achievement. And the second is make and mix the culture. It sells journalism, short not to acknowledge that its finest practitioners make a distinct contribution to the culture. Or this will create and culture rituals will be acted out regardless of whether anyone observes, records, disseminates, uploads, touches, or heals. But through reviews, listings, interviews, reviews, profile, and their notes for the new, journalists do much to raise awareness, generate opportunity, and magnify. And the last objective of journalism is maintaining the public's trust. Journalism strives to keep the public's trust because it is on the foundation of trust that information is collected and exchanged. The public must trust journalists to provide accurate and valuable information, or the journalist's works will be neither self-taught nor believed. The sources of information must trust journalists to protect their identity where applicable and not to misrepresent them or their views.
Hello everyone, I am Sugi Hidayat. I will continue my friend explanation. I will explain about types of journalism and the examples. There are 9 types of journalism. These are: the first one is investigative journalism. Investigative journalism involves thoroughly researching a topic to expose evidence and deliver findings of figures or organization to a wider audience. Investigative journalists conduct in-depth research and use various tactics to collect information. After collecting and evaluating evidence, investigative journalists write comprehensive reports to expose the subject and provide evidence to support their conclusions. For example, Watergate, Washington Post in 1972, Bob Woodward and Charles Bernstein of the Washington Post were behind the most famous series of scoops that brought down President Richard Nixon, the Watergate scandal. Through their investigation and commitment to uncovering the truth, 2 young journalists forced the powerful elected leader to resign. The second one, watchdog journalism. Watchdog journalism aims to protect society from illegal activities or corruption, especially within their governments or economic structures. Watchdog journalists monitor the action of particular organizations, from governments to political campaigns to large corporations, to ensure that illegal activities are not occurring. If they discover corruption, watchdog journalists will report the findings immediately to hold the organization responsible. For example, Newsweek in February 2011 at the time of this articles writing, the American public knew the military used drones to kill suspect terrorists, but the formal process of deciding who should be hunted and killed had never been reported until Tara McPhee snagged an exclusive interview with a man at the CIA who approved this lethal operations. The third, business journalism. Business of trade journalism report on a particular industry or file. Business journalists detail movement and developments in business. The impact people involved in that file. It includes industry-specific news for products such as oil, metals, and agriculture, as well as business sectors such as travel, finance, and healthcare. Business journalists process and report on substantial amounts of information regarding market condition of the trade they cover. For example, the Financial Times FT is a British daily newspaper printed in broadsheet and published digitally that focus on business and economic current affairs. The fourth, entertainment journalism. Entertainment journalism relates to the current events of popular figures and trends. Entertainment journalists reports on the entertainment business, including celebrities, movies, television, books, and events. Entertainment journalism may cover movie premieres and award ceremonies as well as news about the entertainment industry. This type of journalism can take the form of different genres and is common in print, digital, and broadcast media. For example, when the YouTuber Chandra Leo interviewing the cast of Avengers in his YouTube channel. The fifth is sport journalism. Sport journalism focuses on the subject of athletic news. Sports journalists report scores, standings, and rankings for different teams of athletes in different sporting events. Sports journalism can take the form of a specific genre such as investigative or opinion styles. It can be both print and broadcast media. Sports commentating is a form of sport journalism in broadcast and online journalism. For example, in Independent.com, where they reporting about World Cup of football on 2022 or Euro Cup in 2020. The sixth is opinion journalism. Opinion journalism is a field that showcases the writer's opinion rather solely reporting new data or events. Most opinion journalism might center on a particular subject which the journalists discuss either briefly or at length before providing their opinion on the matter. Advice columns, op-eds, review, and letters from the editor all fall under the umbrella of opinion journalism. For example, Charles Beatty in his writing The Stone Kids of Sarah Lawrence What Happened to the Group of Bright College Students Who Fell Under the Sway of Classmates' Father. The seventh is political journalism. Political journalism focuses on government, politics, and political candidates. It covers different segments of political activity, such as local, national, or international news. Political journalists often report on the activities of elected officials, political processes, and the results of political work. It includes reporting political news and conducting investigative and watchdog reporting to ensure that the public has access to information about political activity. Political journalists may also report news in the form of the opinion journalism genre. Political journalism applies to print, digital, and broadcast media. For example, when Najwa Shihab interviewing the members of Indonesia's government executive. The eighth is broadcast journalism. Broadcast journalism reports information to the public through media such as radio and television. Branches of broadcast journalism include sports, weather, traffic, news, and entertainment. Broadcast journalism can also take the form of investigative, watchdog, and opinion types. Broadcast journalism can include reading the report without corresponding video, or narrating a report with a related video playing in the background, or conducting a report in the field while capturing live video. For example, when Indonesia's media reporting the flood disaster in Indonesia. The last one is photojournalism. Rather than using words to tell a story, photojournalism is the art of taking pictures to tell news stories, whether it is a shot of a burning building, a melting glacier, or a group of people in a war zone. Photojournalism shoots can either be candid, heat of the moment reporting, or can occur under calmer circumstances, where the journalist document action like daily life or environmental change. For example, when the news were showing the photo of victim in the flood disaster in Indonesia. Okay, thank you for listening my explanation.